Aloha! This is lesson 74 from A Course in Miracles with Hope Johnson. There is no will but God's. The idea for today can be regarded as the central thought toward which all our exercises are directed. God's is the only will. When you have recognized this, you have recognized that your will is His. The belief that conflict is possible has gone. Peace has replaced the strange idea that you are torn by conflicting goals. As an expression of the will of God, you have no goal but His. There is great peace in today's idea, and the exercises for today are directed toward finding it. The idea itself is wholly true. Therefore, it cannot give rise to illusions. Without illusions, conflict is impossible. Let us try to recognize this today and experience the peace this recognition brings. Begin the longer practice periods by repeating these thoughts several times, slowly and with firm determination to understand what they mean and to hold them in mind. There is no will but God's. I cannot be in conflict. Then spend several minutes in adding some related thoughts, such as, I am at peace. Nothing can disturb me. My will is God's. My will and God's are one. God wills peace for His Son. During this introductory phase, be sure to deal quickly with any conflict thoughts that may cross your mind. Tell yourself immediately, there is no will but God's. These conflict thoughts are meaningless. If there is one conflict area that seems particularly difficult to resolve, single it out for special consideration. Think about it briefly but very specifically. Identify the particular person or persons and the situation or situations involved. And tell yourself, there is no will but God's. I share it with Him. My conflicts about blank cannot be real. After you have cleared your mind in this way, close your eyes and try to experience the peace to which your reality entitles you. Sink into it and feel it closing around you. There may be some temptation to mistake these attempts for withdrawal, but the difference is easily detected. If you are succeeding, you will feel a deep sense of joy and an increased alertness, rather than a feeling of drowsiness and enervation. Joy characterizes peace. By this experience, you will recognize that you have reached it. If you feel yourself slipping off into withdrawal, quickly repeat the idea for today and try again. Do this as often as possible. There is definite gain in refusing to allow retreat into withdrawal, even if you do not experience the peace you seek. In the shorter periods, which should be undertaken at regular and predetermined intervals today, say to yourself, there is no will but God's. I seek His peace today. Then try to find what you are seeking. A minute or two every half an hour, with eyes closed if possible, would be well spent on this today. So there's an interesting reference here today to withdrawal. I've been enjoying this a lot. So it says you may mistake this for withdrawal while you're doing this practice. You may mistake these attempts to see that your will is one with God's, that there's only God's will as withdrawal. It leads to a sense of peace. And in a sense, you are withdrawing from the world and the worldly thoughts in order to find the peace of God that you're looking for. You know, to the ego, this is very dangerous. So the ego would tempt you to believe that what you're doing is wrong. But the way the ego withdraws is that the ego withdraws into meaninglessness, like withdrawing from the truth. And the ego considers that to be engagement, right? Because you're engaging with nothing when you're engaging with non-truth. And you're really withdrawing from the truth, right? When you go into ego thoughts. So one ego thought that would come up with this one is that you're not doing it right. And that would convince you to think about how you're not doing it right. See, that's just another thought. So this is showing you how to just go around all ego thoughts. Anything that has to do with the world or about you or about your self-image or about your attempts not being good enough, just the will to attempt this is very fruitful. Even if you don't perceive yourself as reaching what you're looking for, this could go on for years. You perceive yourself, you're not reaching what you're looking for. But it's very fruitful. All time is under the control of the Holy Spirit. If you can allow yourself to reach any sense of peace or joy or contentment within this, that's the kind of withdrawal that serves you. And this is the kind of withdrawal that awakens the world. You know, the ego would tempt you to think that this is dangerous and you can't make it, you can't do it right, and get you to withdraw into these disengaged thoughts that actually lead to fatigue. And that's how you know you've been listening to the ego. You're going to feel like your nerves are on edge, and a sense of tiredness along with anxiety that might make you feel like you can't go to sleep because you're so anxious. That's the ego's thoughts always. What's being shown to you here is that joy is the same as peace. So you're looking for this calmness, and instead of slipping off into the ego's withdrawal, just slip right past any of those thoughts that lead to withdrawal.
This is pretty effective when you get a conflict in your mind about how things should be. Eventually we have to see it that we're just God's puppets and it's all God's will.
Yes, that is really true. I mean, and this is the reason why you have no conflict, because whatever appears, even in your perception, even though God didn't create this world, God didn't create a meaningless world, whatever does occur is the will of God. Whatever does occur to you is the will of God, because it can serve the will of God when you choose. When you choose that whatever occurs to you serves the will of God, then that's how you use it. But while you're deciding that whatever occurs to you is subject to your judgment, then you're saying that there's another will besides the will of God. And that hurts. That makes you be in duality with whatever it is that you perceive. Do you like it, or is it offensive? That's how the ego looks at things. Do I like it, or is it a call for vengeance? Is it acceptable, or does someone need to be punished? See, when you see that there's no will but God's, everything that occurs to you is God's will. Because you see it like that, because you would use it like that. You would use it to hear the voice of God and for no other purpose.
You can tell when it's God's will because sometimes we'll have these split wills.
Mm-hmm.
You'll feel the ego come up and it'll be painful.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll feel the other side of it and you go, oh, that it's free, it's open,
It's like, that's how God's will is. God's will is like, what a relief. Oh, thank goodness that wasn't true. So have a beautiful practice today. We love you. Aloha.